Hello there, and God bless you. My name is Shoggy Tosh, and I'm based in London, United Kingdom. I just wanted to come out to shed some light on some of the allegations that's been spread about mentor, Reverend Tim Omotoso. It's quite an interesting period. But one thing I know about him is that, when he was born and growing up as well, there was a huge prophecy upon him before he was born and even after he was born that this child is for the rising and the falling of many. It's the same prophecy that was on Jesus Christ, and all through his life, at least the part that I know of, because I've been working with him by God's special grace for like 18 years. What I know is that there are a lot of people that will come in contact with him, either from close or afar, and they'll rise. They'll rise and just grow in life, and some as well they'll fall, and some utterly fall. That's what has been happening, especially as a prophet of God. So I'm not surprised, with what is going on. Whenever there's a new level, for the ministry or for himself, these kind of things do happen. I've been around the man of God, as I said, for close to 20 years. I've lived in South Africa for a little while, and I've moved around with him. With most of these girls that are actually accusing him now, I've moved around with them, because there's an entourage. So we go to Port Elizabeth. We've gone to Mabato. Even went to Mabato, went to the prisons, for the prisons ministry of the man of God. So Mabato, Soweto, Bloemfontein, Durban, Port Elizabeth, Johannesburg. I mean, just to mention like few cities, I actually traveled around with the man of God and most of these ladies groups and, what have you. And even in Nigeria, I can't count how many times. I mean, since I was born in Birmingham, and I've been to Nigeria a good number of times. But the times that I've traveled on my own without a direct relationship without being directly related to the man of God's crusade or an assignment, I can say maybe it's like 15 or 20%, even though I'm a journal and I do travel around. But most of the times, probably 75% of the times when I travel out, is because there's a crusade or it's because I'm needed, in the field, with the man of God. So I've moved around most of these ladies. Most of them, I know of them and I know them, So, and me and myself being in South Africa, there was a particular time when one of the boys that is in the group that are actually spreading all these rumors and, accusing the man of God, Reverend Tim Omotoso, he came up to me, and this was a good number of years ago, like around 2007. And he was just telling me that, there's this particular girl that he wants to, lay in the bed, put it that way. And it was like, he's ready to fast 3 days on water only. These are the teachings of the man of God, not to do that, but he's now twisting it because he wants to lay with a girl. And he said he knows that it's not the right thing to do, but because he really wants it, and the word of God says, whatever you want, do you understand? So these are the kind of people that you deal with in South Africa. I'm not saying all South Africans are horrible. You have a lot of wonderful South Africans that have come into contact with and have done a lot of great things, a lot of projects, a lot of things in the ministry and outside the ministry as well. But also there's a good nucleus of people that are quite shallow in mind. They're easily swayable, and they don't have a good thought in their mind, if I can put it that way. So these are some of the things. Most of these ladies, like, there's a particular group, I'll just avoid mentioning names, but there's a particular group where two out of those girls in the musical group, in the ministry of the man of God, are now accusing the man of God of all of these allegations and what have you, sexual, molestations and so many other allegations. Now, the one other girl who is the main girl in that group now came forth because they always stay together. The way it is, like, a particular group, maybe 5-6 girls, they stay together. They stay in the same room. And they stay with other girls as well who iron the clothes and help them, and stuff like that. So this other group that where 2 girls are actually accusing the man of God of some of these things, the third girl, who is the main girl, now went on Twitter and said all of these allegations are wrong. Few days ago as well, there was a girl in Port Elizabeth who actually, she was a prostitute. And what happened was, like, she never met the man of God before. She was in Port Elizabeth. She was a full-time prostitute. And, she had a vision, and the man of God appeared to her, Reverend Tim Omotoso, man of God, Reverend Tim Omotoso, appeared to her in a dream, in a vision. And in the vision, he won her soul in that vision. And later on, someone now came to give her a leaflet or something like that. So that's how she came to know that this is the man of God that appeared to me in the vision. I would love to go to his church. She actually came to the church and shared a lot of testimonies some months ago. Now, just a few days ago, she went on Facebook Live saying that one of the main pastors who defected and who's one of, the main brains behind all these accusations, pumping people and making sure that people, are pumped up, to give all these allegations, actually came to her, offering to bribe her, offering to buy her groceries, because knowing that, there's a little bit of poverty, going on in those areas, offering to buy her groceries just so that she can raise false allegations against the man of God. Because obviously she used to be a prostitute, so that would, she'll fall in line. And she thought about it, she was tempted, but, eventually she decided, like, she can't do this. And she came on Facebook Live to broadcast this and share these allegations. So this is the kind of environment, that you encounter when you go to South Africa. So imagine, someone staying there, full-time ministry for 17, 18, 19, 20 years. There's a lot of men of God. I don't want to mention names, but there's a prominent man of God who went to South Africa once and said never ever would they go to South Africa again. Do you understand? Again, I'm not saying South Africa is a horrible country, because every country has positives and negatives. But that is a climate, especially from the apartheid time, and not forgetting the xenophobia, that is going on. There's a target on Nigerians, target on foreigners, and target, on men of God, especially from Nigeria, because, everyone knows that, South Africans, they believe in their ancestors, and, the kind of background about, knowing of God is totally different, from like a core raw teaching from a man of God, probably from, Ghana or Nigeria or other countries. So, there's a lot of battles going on, and you can see it's higher up because everything has been organized. A few months, this has been going on for months. Now it's like enveloping out, to the public, but it's been going out for quite a while. I mean, even the Hawks, would say themselves that, they've been trying to investigate this for like months and months and months. But separately, because, months ago, the website of the man of God was attacked. That's the ADBN arm, the TV arm. Do you understand? And even till now, because we didn't know, the people that just at cyber attack, they took over the website for a while, and, they were just doing fraudulent things before by God's grace, were able to get the website back. These are all connected because I know from my experience, I do PR and I do media. I've been doing media for 20 years. This is very organized. This is way from the top. Most of the people that people are looking at are just pawns in the hands of some people. And that happened. Then after that, or just around that time, people are now going on Facebook, formulating accounts. Some of you, if you are quite conversant with ADBN, you see, broadcasts being put on ADBN that, the man of God doesn't have a Facebook account. Anybody asking for money, that man of God doesn't ask for money. He prays for people freely. He's been given freely, he gives. So, people just, because, I know about all these things. They'll just come on, make a new account, put the man of God's pictures, and start asking for money and collecting money from people, claiming that, they're the man of God. So there's been so many attacks. I'm just mentioning a few that's been going on. And these allegations is like, according to them, the final nail in the coffin. But the thing that is that with God, do you understand? All things are possible, and God will look after his own. So that's why I'm not bothered. A lot of people reach out to me because, I'm a media personality, and a lot of people know that, the man of God, Reverend Omotoso, is my mentor, and they're asking, are these allegations true? Most of them, I didn't answer them because, for instance, I'll give you a quick testimony. My wife didn't have a womb. So we went to South Africa back in 2003, 2nd August in Durban. That was where God encountered us. And through the man of God, my wife's womb was removed. Through the man of God, most of you've seen this testimony. You can go on YouTube and go and watch it. It was on one of my TV episodes. The man of God prayed for us. It was a short prayer, and God gave my wife a new womb, and today we have 2 wonderful kids. Why am I referring to that? For me, it's not a time to share testimonies. It's a time to face the allegations right on the head. Why am I sharing about that? When these testimonies came out, for instance, about the one I shared, how many people came to me and said, oh, is that testimony true? Or when, even on the same clip, I interviewed my mentor, and I was, asking him questions about, many people that God has used him to, to bring dead back from life, the dead back from the death and back to life. And, how many people came to me and said, oh, are those allegations true? Did, SABC, for instance, did they cover that? Were they not aware of that? But how come that, on this particular, allegation and this kind of history that is going on, all the medias, the blogs, people that, wouldn't even want to know about the man of God, everyone is just jumping on the wagon. No scrutinizing, no checking of the facts. You look at BBC, you look at Fox, you look at, CNN, any, reputable, media, house. When you hear of something, you check, you have to verify it. Do you understand? And even when you say allegations, you understand there's two sides to a story. You get the other story and then you don't go and do a documentary and just try to, formulate things and there's no proof. People are saying the same way, for instance, I'm getting in front of the camera and I'm sharing some things with you. Do you understand? Same way I can also come here and share whatever I want to share. So because I'm sharing this doesn't mean that, even as I'm sharing it, I'm saying this, and that's why I'm not trying to mention names, so that whoever is watching this can now, with a little bit of initiative and a little bit of insight, can now look into things and now decide for themselves. As a media entity, that's what you do. That's your work, to present the case, and then let people, decide, how they want to see things. You don't sway to one side. So even now, I'm just saying the things and sharing experiences of what I've encountered. Do you understand? So these things have been going on, for quite a while. And I'll refer to a part of the Bible, when Jesus Christ was crucified and he came back, from the dead, rose and went to heaven. And then you had the disciples, and there was a lot of persecution going on. And there was a particular man, when they wanted to beat the apostles, that was saying, don't bother about these people, because if they are not of God, they will fall away, they will not stand. But if they are of God, you realize that you're kicking against God. And that's what happened. Do you understand? Today we're still speaking about Christianity. We're talking about Jesus Christ because the apostles pulled through. And I know that the man of God will pull through because he's a true man of God. One of the main media heads that's been behind the witch hunting, mainly from Nigeria, based in South Africa. I'm not going to mention names, but I'm sure most of you know who I'm talking about. He said he got hold of a clip, and I listened to the clip, and I've been with the man of God for a while. Let me put this to you guys. I'm 43. I'm reasonably wise. I'm not dunce. If someone approaches me and says, oh yeah, there are these allegations, or like maybe someone my junior, and comes to me that they've concluded already, and then you come to me and you say, oh, did you do so and so and so? I can play with your head. I can say that. I mean, look at Jesus Christ even in the Bible. When you ask somebody, if you go to somebody and you say, okay, did you steal this money? And the person remains silent, that means you're guilty. And that happened to Jesus Christ. And that's why it was claimed that he was guilty, because are you the King of Jews? Did you do so? Did you do this? Did you say you destroyed the temple? Jesus never said a word. Even when you get married and you say, is there anybody here? If not, hold your peace and forever be silent. So even when you're silent, you don't defend yourself. It's taken as a guilty case, if I can put it that way. So if someone comes to me and you don't give me a chance, I can see that you've already made up your mind. I can play with your mind and I can say, exactly, all what you said I did it. So are you going to record that and now use that against me in a court and say, oh, I said I'll do something. Look at the man of God's preachings, it's all out in the open. There's loads of clips on the YouTube, there's loads of messages over so many TV stations over a number of years. It's quite jovial, as he will say, he doesn't joke, he only drinks Coke. So that time, when people are coming and you could see journalists were around, or you can see some people around, and there are so many rumors going around, people are saying different things. So he was like, okay, fine. You understand? God has endowed me in that clip. If you want some, come and get some. That is no, I mean, with a little bit of common sense, you can see that, because are you going to use that as an evidence? Even if someone says something, someone can actually come back and say, you know what? I was insane that time. There was under insanity, in some cases, and they can change their testimony. You need hardcore proof. You need a proof, not just allegations. You need a proof to show that what you are saying is true. And there's no proof. You can just see that all these things are formulated. And this has just been played all over, be put on YouTube, put on SoundCloud. And the guy is going on different channels and saying, oh yes, I have proof. I have that. And so I'm not going to hit him, because it's a work of God, and there's also the work on the other side, and everybody's working for their own master. But on the last day, everything will be made plain. Who you're working for, who you've been laboring for, it will be made plain. So that's not a problem. The word of God says that, things that are highly estimable in the eyes of men are detestable in the eyes of God. And the word of God also says that, when they accuse you and persecute you, so have they done to the prophets before. Do you understand? So be of good, be glad, be of good heart and rejoice, because great is your reward in heaven, and great is the reward of the man of God in heaven. Do you understand? So I'm not perturbed, and he's not perturbed, because the work of God is going on, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. Another instance is when the man of God went to Port Elizabeth on the 20th of April. He went down with his lawyers for a private meeting with the Hawks. Now, don't forget that the Hawks came to Bloemfontein the meeting before, just before the April 20. We had a crusade in Bloemfontein, and the Hawks were in the gathering on the Friday. The man of God did a choir practice. He met with the pastors. None of this was secret. It was open. I even have some clips and some pictures of that day. And the Hawks came on the Friday service. They came on the Saturday service. They never arrested the man of God. Now, the man of God decided, many times, time passed, the man of God will not turn up for a meeting. He will come around. Maybe the Lord doesn't lead him. He wouldn't come for a meeting. We've had crusades before where by God's grace, I'm the one that organized it in Nigeria, whereby he came on the first day and the second day he didn't show up because he's a prophet of God. He has a right to come to a meeting or not. And now they were claiming that he's on the run. Why would you put that in the media? Why would you kind of incite the mob linked to xenophobia, hoping that, maybe there'll be attacks and, maybe in South Africa, the same way that there are attacks on people, maybe they can attack churches and stuff like that. You can see that they are trying to incite the mob and everything is planned. Now, the man of God now went to P on his own accord. He paid for his own ticket. He booked a return flight, hoping to come back, because it was a private meeting. And how were the media outlets with the cameras? I'm a media guy, guys. I'm a media chap. I've been doing this for 20 years. To set up a camera, to set up the light, to set up the sound takes a while. Do you understand? So like now we're recording now, the crew behind the scenes had to take time to set this up. So how did they know the time for a private meeting that the man of God was going to be in Port Elizabeth? And they had their cameras ready, both sound and audio and visuals. And they got it ready and they were able to record everything. How were they able to do that? Now, the man of God went to the gents. They now made up the stories that he was in the ladies. How would a man of God go into the ladies? What would you want? Why would you want to go to the ladies? And then shooting a gun and then climbing over the cubicle and trying to get him out, even though he was easing himself, and then pointing the gun at him, shooting a live gun. Do you understand? We all know, there's a high rate of crime in South Africa. Is that done to even the raw crime people? People that, are actually, crime lords. This is a man of God, doesn't have any weapon on him. He came voluntarily down and they put him in handcuffs so that the media could carry that and so that they can incite the mob. Everything has been planned. And ever since there was no warrant for arrest, and they were allowing people to beat him even as they were leading him on and handcuffed him. Do you understand? And these are things that's been going on. Allegations upon allegations upon allegations without any proof. Now, you're saying there are 30 girls. Some of these girls are actually coming on now on Twitter and admitting that they've been offered so amount of money, which I don't want to mention. They've been offered an amount of money to say that these are the things that happened. Don't forget that most of these people and most of the pastors that actually left the ministry and are planning with all these people and so on and so forth, they've moved with the man of God for a number of years. They know that he reads Psalm 51. Everyone knows that, the man of God has taught us to read Psalm 51, 91, 121, amongst other scriptures. So everybody's formulating things, going on blogs, going on news outlets and saying, oh, the man of God said we should do this, said we should do that. Going back to that SoundCloud clip that this guy that I'm talking about loaded up as well. The man of God is now saying, because there's been allegations. Everyone has known what was going on. There's been allegations in Port Elizabeth all over the country that the man of God is doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this. So the man of God is like, okay, yeah, I'm endowed. Do you want to come and get some? If you are father with the prophet, these are how prophets talk. Yeah, I'm blessed. The God has blessed me throughout my body. If you want to come and get some, come and get some. And then someone is now getting that clip and now saying that the man of God has admitted to cases. When was this recording done? What was going on? Nobody would dig deep into it. Another case that I would like to bring up. The Christian Association in South Africa, they had a conference. And they had a YouTube recording. They had a press release. And they categorically said that they're not condemning the man of God and they're not justifying him. But the law says, and someone is innocent until they are proven guilty. And they said clearly, said, now they don't want anybody to now attack churches and stuff like that. It's already in the court. Let the cause of justice take, its own course and let's see what's going to happen. But they should not treat the man of God, Reverend Omotoso, like he's already guilty. They said that. Now, what did the media house do? They went on, they took another part where they were not even actually talking about the man of God, and they cut that little part, they put it on YouTube, blogs took it. I don't want to mention names of blogs, but all of you, I'm sure you saw most of it, and they now went on that. We went to some of these blogs and said, okay, fine. You reported this. Now, look at the full clip. This is other areas that you left out. At least be fair. As I said earlier, as a journal, you portray both sides. Be fair to portray the true part. You know what they said? They said you can pay money. We have proof for all of this. If you want your side to be said, they said our side. But meanwhile, the clip we're not the Christian Union. They gave a whole press release. They said if you want to present that side, you have to pay. But if not, they can choose to present whatever they want to do. And that's what the media has been doing. Why? You must ask yourself. Because there's an agenda. Because it's end time. Because people are scared. You know, the same thing happened to Jesus Christ. When Herod knew that a king is reigning and, you know, there were some things going on, then kids were killed under the age of 2. The enemy, Lucifer, knows that his time is short. And that's why he's getting his team, and they're doing a great job. And yeah, they should keep on carrying on, because the word of God says in Revelation, those that want to be filthy, Jesus Christ said this himself in Revelation, the book of Revelation, be filthy still. Those that want to be clean still. Those that want to be righteous, be righteous. Those that want to be dirty. He said it comes very soon, and it comes with his reward. I'm speaking in front of a camera. A camera can only have a limit to what it can show. But there's one day when all human beings will stand before God Almighty, and everything will be made plain. As Jesus Christ said, everything that's been done in the secret will be made plain. Let us see that time, because the end is what everybody should wait, for. Paul said one thing. He said, we all see through a glass. We don't see clearly. But on that day, when we come before God and we are changed, everybody will see clearly. I can go on and on and on. There's so many allegations, but the truth shall prevail. All I can say is if you're a Christian and you believe in God, pray unto God and say, Lord, let your will be done and let the truth prevail. Do you understand? Don't just jump on the bandwagon and be swearing and be saying things and be, calling the man of God rapist when it's not proven. How do you do that? Even with the O.J. Simpson saga in America. Do you understand? When it looked like that, this was what this man did. The Americans went through and actually he was free. It was now, he was not put in jail for that. It was not another allegation that was now led to put him in jail. Do you understand? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That's not what I'm going. But what I'm saying is there's a case going on. Why is the man of God denied bail? Why is all this set up going on? Getting girls, paying them money, getting them to say things. Do you understand? Why? But it's because the work of God is going to another gear. I'll pause here. But I'm really thankful for all your support, and I'm really thankful for the work of God. The church is marching on. The gate of hell shall not prevail. Shoggy Tosh, and I'm out.